having her mic lined up and recording properly. She takes really care of her vocal cords. She makes sure she eats right. She makes sure she's healthy because she has a long life ahead of her with just her voice. So you can make a career out of almost anything. It's really about finding yourself and finding your abilities. There are so many opportunities available to you. Right now, for young people especially, there's a website called D-Scout, D-S-C-O-U-T. And it's really about Zooms and about focus groups. And a focus group is an opportunity to share your opinion about stuff. And say, for instance, how old are you?
16.
16. I just made my daughter download D-Scout. So it asks you questions about your opinion. What do you like about athletic gear? What do you like about high school? What do you like about school in general? It has all these questions. You answer a bunch of questions and you get paid at the end of the week. But let's say, for instance, you have three $10 questionnaires and $500 questionnaires. On Friday, in your mail account, you get $500 or $530, whatever the case may be. So there are so many ways for you to utilize your own abilities, your own learning, your own skills with just your phone and sitting at home. And you always want to make sure your mom, your aunt, your grandparent, whoever you live with, the adults, they do their research to make sure you're covered. But D-Scout is a legitimate company that I trust. And there are big companies that do focus groups. One of my favorite is a company called Sago, S-A-G-O. I do a lot for them, and I'll go and I'll do a 12-hour jury focus group and make $1,500 or $1,000, whatever the case may be. But there are smaller ones too, and you can do 20 and 30 a week, $10 each, and that's $200 for just 15 minutes of your time. So that's one of the opportunities. And as a casting director, I did a film in 2020 called The Harder They Fall with Idris Elba, Regina King, Jonathan Majors, a lot of great actors. Delroy Lindo, who I'm so proud of right now for getting acknowledged by Sinners. But there are projects that are waiting for you, and some of them you'll be creating your own. Write your script, write your story, make it fun, make it important, tell your story. I'm finishing up my first book right now, and it's about what I went through as a single dad raising my daughter, because the world will always talk about mothers, but they don't always talk about fathers. And fathers need love too. And we all work hard. Every father that I know, good father and bad fathers, we work hard. So maybe you have a story to tell. What grade are you in?
10.
10th grade. So you got 2 more years of high school. And you just finished in 10th grade, so you're starting 11th soon.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You're gonna have a great summer and you're gonna be ready. How about everyone, what grade are you in, sir? 10th. Okay. So this is just that, it's a sophomore situation. I love that. My daughter's graduating high school and getting ready for college, and it can be scary. The idea of being away from your parents, even if you're going to a local school. She's going to Philadelphia to Temple, so I'm just going to keep an eye on her. I might even apply for a job down there, but stay in touch with people who got your back. Recognize them, recognize their abilities, recognize your abilities, and write your story, because your story could be the story that changes your life. I was at a meeting this afternoon with a librarian from the Bronx, because she knows that one of the books that I'm writing is about the Bronx and about what men go through and the challenges we go through trying to live up to the standards of the world. Social media will tell you one thing, but you got to believe in what you believe for yourself. And I've turned down jobs. Years ago, I was as an actor, I was asked to do a film, and in the film, my character raped a young girl. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And they were like, why? I said, because one day I might have a daughter. And how do I explain to her what my character did? I did that for a check. That doesn't make sense to my spirit. And ironically, the film got canceled, but it wasn't because of me, it was because the director was crazy. So you gotta be careful sometimes. Remember, no is not just the end of a situation, it's also protection. Sometimes using the word no is saving you. So be aware of that. You can't say yes to every situation. You say yes, you get in your friend's car, your friend's drinking, y'all get into an accident, or you get arrested, all because you said yes. Sometimes you gotta be selective and make better choices. Any questions?
How when did you first get influenced by the hip hop?
Wow. Hip hop came up in my neighborhood. I'm from the Bronx. God bless you. Hip hop came up in my neighborhood. Kool Herc was somebody I knew. The whole Zulu Nation was somebody I knew. I've been around hip hop my entire life. Some people say that I am hip hop, but I wouldn't say that because hip hop is a part of us as our culture. Um, I love the music. I loved running the streets with my friends. I used to break open the lamps for the DJs because my father, back in the days before he became a nurse, he worked as a mechanic. So he understood how to use his hands and he taught me how to use my hands. So connecting those wires for DJs was something that I learned how to do. Other people got electrocuted. They touched the wrong thing, but you had to learn which wire was the ground wire. And those are things that I understood. So when they were having jams in the park or parties in the park, I helped them put the power together. So I love that. Hip hop has always been a part of my life and a part of my family.
How did those elements of what you were experiment?
Take your time.
How was those elements that you experienced throughout like your childhood reflect on how like you are now with you like being in like more into the hip hop community?
Ironically, you don't realize what you've learned until you're teaching someone else. There are so many things that hip hop afforded me, relationships and friendships. Like I had a lunch meeting this afternoon I told you about. And as I was talking to this young lady, and I'm talking about Donnie Wahlberg, and I'm talking about New Kids on the Block, and I'm talking about J. Cole, and artist and friend Sam Jackson. She said, that's all amazing. But I wasn't thinking about it as those were celebrities. These are friends of mine. These are numbers in my phone. These are people I talk to on a regular basis. So when I told her the first time I took my daughter on a private plane, she was like, oh my God, you've been on a private plane? Like, that's exciting. But when it's just commonplace, to me, it's like, I don't own a plane. So I'm grateful when I get on a plane that either someone paid me to be on or I'm traveling somewhere. Like, I'm not going to Jamaica anytime soon, but I'm very envious of that. I love people who get to travel. But what I do every day, I carry my passport every day because I want to remind myself that traveling is what I want to do. So sometimes when I'm sitting doing absolutely nothing, I lay my passport on the table. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you, I'm not playing. I lay it on the table and I remind myself I have places to go. Hip hop has afforded me that. I have relationships with friends. I talk to De La Soul on a regular basis because those are my guys. Dave passed, God rest his, but Paz and Mace, those are family people. And I'm constantly thinking of a way to incorporate them, get them a check, and do greater things for myself.
See, just like Tuffy with his passport, I keep all my these are my airline tickets. I keep all of them. Every single last airline ticket I ever flew.
I love that.
Every single one of them. I have more in my bag. But this is proof to show you that, when you put your heart and your goal and your belief into something, it makes your dreams come alive.
Stand in that. You can't just dream while you're asleep. You have to dream while you're awake. And that means planning your next move. You're 16. You have so many years ahead of you. But your first book can be done by your 17th birthday. Tell a story. Everybody has a story to tell.
You never know. That could be the next best-selling book. New York
Could be.
Times.
Anything's possible.
What would you change in like how you like what's it called rise throughout like being in hip hop? How would you like change would you change any of the mistakes that you made to like be here right now?
The only thing I do better is I eat better. Because I know you can't tell because I'm so sexy, and I'm kidding, I'm not. But our health is our wealth. I love pasta. I love bread. None of that stuff is really good for us, especially if we didn't make it, because our world has become consumption heavy in a bad way. So if I could change one thing, it would be the way I ate, who I eat with, That's one of the things I learned. When you eat with the wrong people, you eat the wrong things. I have certain friends who think that you should follow up a steak with a steak. That's unhealthy. Good protein, but unhealthy. You have to make better decisions. So those are the changes I would make. I would eat better. I would exercise more. I would get up earlier, and I would get more rest because rest matters. That's real honest. Take your time. Think about a question that you want to answer to for yourself.
Okay. How do you think like the hip hop have what's it called changed how you think? Like, cause you know how you have different perspectives on something, but then now you experience it yourself. How would you like think? I mean, how would you say like it had changed it, or like what ways did it change?
Okay. Hip hop gave me relationships. Hip hop gave me travel opportunities. And hip hop gave me lifelong friendships. Television has allowed me that as well. Being a casting director, being an actor, being on TV, being in films. I did a TV show called How to Make It in America for HBO. And when I went to France, I was well received, like I was a star. And I wasn't, but they loved the show. So they showed me a little different kind of love. You know, I was given some class treatment, some really sweet treatment. Is it always like that? No, but you always want the best of best for yourself, and I want to be able to show that to my daughter as well. But I think that any opportunity for you to grow is a great opportunity. Any opportunity that allows you to live a better life for your children is a great opportunity. So it's really about figuring out what makes sense for you.
Hold on. Let's do a test, make sure we got it recorded.
Yeah. 2-2. 1-2. 2-2. Let me see if it's.
So let's the recording part of it. Let's start because you gotta say your name, the Queens Public Library.
Where you from? All of that.
Let's just make sure we got it.
See. Track. SD card. I think we're good to go. Yeah.
Did the thing play back? Can you play that and make sure?
Let's see. Settings.
We want to check the recording before
About
you
figuring
start.
out what makes sense for you.
Okay, great. So you know it works.
All right, perfect.
Man, I sound worse than I thought.
Don't say that to me.
I'm a frog. I'm a frog.
All right.
All right.
Oh. What you gonna say to open it?
Hello, my name is Brooklyn Morgan, and I'm currently at the Queens Langston Hughes Queens Public Library.
Right, and this is what I want you to put it down on your phone. Hold on.
Write it like a script, Brooklyn.
Let me give you something. Hold on,
And the word script, don't let that bother you. It doesn't have to be this big. It could be a sentence. It could be a phrase.
Your name, wasn't it?
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Morgan.
Morgan. Hi. This is Brooklyn Morgan at Queens Public Library. Hip Hop 101. Our guest today is Tuffy Costa. And it's Tuffy, welcome Tuffy. And then we're going to answer your questions. All right, you got it? Don't mess it up.
Come on, Brooklyn.
Hold on.
I believe
Say,
you.
when I go, thing, that's you.
Wait, the question I already said?
No, forget about everything. Start it over. Go.
Hi, this is Brooklyn Morgan at Queens Public Library, Hip Hop 101. Our guest today is Tuffy Costa. Welcome, Tuffy.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
How have you think that now that you're like you have like, I don't know, you
I've achieved some things.
yeah, you achieve some things now, and then your daughter now in the mix, like you're able to show her stuff that you probably wasn't growing up with before.
Yes, it's been a blessing to see my daughter's acceptance of who her father is. To her, I'm just dad. But when she meets these celebrities or when she sees her Uncle Ralph or just other people who were successful and she hears the stories or she sees the music videos I've done over the years, she's amazed. Dad, what were you doing? Like, why are you dancing like that, Dad, in the video? It's always fun. Her reactions are always, Dad, you shouldn't do that. But she also is excited. So it's a beautiful situation to be able to show her that and bring her to where I'm at and where I've come from. Sorry.
With the different like shows or productions that you have been a part of, how do you come account and like taking on that type of job or like doing it?
Well, as a casting director, the director comes to me with a blank slate and says, this is what my story is. Help me put the actors in these roles. So, like my mentor was Jackie Brown, and Jackie Brown has done movies like Boys in the Hood. She's done really great movies over the years. She's big time, and she's still my mentor to this day. So when we did our first film together, Disappearing Acts, she didn't want Wesley Snipes, but the production company wanted Wesley Snipes. So they fought for it because his character in the film was younger than Wesley actually was. So sometimes you have to play the role, you have to play the game, and you have to have the conversations. But all the women in the film, Sanaa Lathan, some of the great actors, Jackie was very, very excited about them. So sometimes the work requires us to make better decisions.
What kind of education do you need to become a casting director?
That you can take film class, but you also have to learn the business because we do contracts. There are certain phrases like pay to play. There are certain things that you learn along the way, but there are contracts that you make, excuse me, and you have to be aware of these contracts. You're not a lawyer, but there are legalities that are involved. And as a casting director, I have to make sure that the agent's part is covered, the actor's part is covered, the production company is covered, the film company is covered. So it's not just going to school as a filmmaker, which is great, but you can take film class and then you can learn about casting as a sidebar. And it's really a hands-on education and experience to really do the job.
One more, what's the impactful thing you come across doing your job?
I love, as an actor, I get to be inspired and I learn from the work. As a casting director, I get to inspire others to aspire to greater heights. So I help people get out of their own way. Some actors still don't know what to say, what to do. They're learning. A good actor has education. A great actor has experience. I always ask this question when I'm talking to classes. I say, if you can choose one, film, television, or stage for the rest of your career, which would it be and why? There is no wrong answer. It's really about where you are in your walk. The person who says they left the stage is because they want the sound of the applause, because nothing gets you excited like the sound of applause building up in an audience. A film actor loves the ensemble, they love the schedule, and they know that they're done in 6 weeks or 5 weeks. They get a great check, they do great work, and then it's over and they move on to the next project. A television actor knows that they have an ensemble, they're gonna get good money, and film and television reaches the entire world. Stage does not. So it's really about what you want for your career at the time.
What's the difference between stage and film? You like to explain the lighting and everything?
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between stage, film, and like and TV?
Film is, like for instance, I'm gonna use this as an example, Blade, or let's say the MCU, Marvel Universe. Those are films that people should have seen all over the world. But there are some countries, let's say Uganda, let's say Hungary, they may have never seen a film because they may not have a local theater. But there are television shows, and we know what television shows are. Those are things that you see on your television at home or on your phone at home or wherever you're at. For example, I think of Friends, which is a great show. There wasn't a lot of people of representation for us, but there are so many great shows on television right now. I just watched something called